I can make it Buzz Lightyear. I have all the toys. We would read. I really like it. That was dream.
Today I was in cooking. It was so hard. We were cooking pasta with tomato sauce. We had no problem. I spilled the hazelnuts on the floor. We had to wait a little longer on the boiled water. I felt very hungry because I only ate a little bit of breakfast. I am wondering, why do we have to mix the olive oil with the sauce tomorrow? I will go to watch the building. Why do you think we did that? To make the sauce taste better? Oh! Hey, no mistake. Today I worked in water with McKay. And we worked on making a game called Pitching Game. All you have to do is sit a sea animal in a ball or container and store points. The only problem was that some toys were too big, but we used the toy well instead of to hit the toys. We felt very happy because we can hit the big toys better. I was wondering why we can't put the same in water. Tomorrow I'm going to see it. I will let you stand in the water. Let us make same times. What's
I think our school collects children's work to see where you were when you were started in pre-K to when you come to 5th grade. I think it really shows who you were and who you came to be, and then you can start thinking from like the changes, and you can start thinking of the future. So I think it would be good if you look at it so you can see how you were in the past. You might forget.
What?
You know any Yvonne's class where you went on a paper that you outlined yourself and then you painted it?
I was never in Bob's
did
class,
that?
but I know that they did.
Yeah. Found it. Probably all my stuff by now.
That's yours.
Help me. Okay, let's lay it.
Oh no.
Okay, let's see my.
It's gonna be scary.
I made myself a vampire.
You look like a vampire.
I know, I think.
Look at your
Oh, see,
arms.
this is from Halloween.
I was a
Pictures from
bat.
Halloween. See, I was a bat.
That's.
Look at your face. I look like Minnie Mouse.
Like a shark or something?
Yeah. Oh, and this is Lego Indiana Jones.
Oh,
That's good. Oh, that's
nice. That temple of
It's like he's walking, and then there's this mean guy, and he
hits him. He says ah, and his hat comes off. And then he breaks, and then he rebuilds himself. And then there's some other guy with his evil pet thing. And he comes chasing him. He says ah, and then he punches him, I think. And then there's his little face. And that's the end. And then a storm comes. And then some guy, skeleton thing. And then he's just standing there. And then this guy just does this and
I think I remember something like this.
Oh, that's a card.
This is the ice skating picture. And then it's another book.
Oh man.
And it says, just a picture.
Skywalker is a Jedi. Crash. Anakin was doing his homework when Crash's mother screamed. He paid no attention. He knew what it was. It was a big footstep of course. Oh, then a man walked into the door. My name is Qui-Gon. I'm a Jedi, and I didn't finish the rest of the book.
Yeah, I found a lot of stuff like that too.
Agnes, Ella, Fifi, and Shelley? I feel. Once there was a girl named Agnes. She was 6 years old when she found Fifi's shoes. What's a dragon? And I didn't finish it. Fiona's coloring book. Aww. That's better than I could. I was so much better at drawing than I drew princesses and fairies and mermaids.
Wait, can I see the mermaids and fairies?
There's a mermaid. And there is a fairy. It's not bad.
I
For
think
me.
the mermaid was pretty good.
This is a coloring book. You know what'll be fun? I can color in my own coloring book from when I was
Once
in
you get
second
home
grade.
or even after this.
Carrots, I think. They're fighting vegetables. And then they fall in the water and they get on a boat. And it says, we're stranded in the middle of the ocean. And the boat crashes. It said, and then these are hot dogs. It said, if you want to come in, we'll use ultimate. It says, if you want to come in, we'll use ultimate Enzo on you. And then, I think this hot dog was eating the other hot dog. This said later, and then he eats one of the guy gives him red hot pepper, a hot dog pepper. The guy's eating him, and he eats him, and then he eats him, and then some other guy's there. Soon the weenies leave. They accidentally leave over weenie. It's a dance masseur, something like that. Dance masseur. And the main character is right here with a blue hat, I
They
think.
dance when the one.
And he's like a police, and it says train station.
When I looked at my work, a lot of it, even if I wasn't working with other people, everything had to involve another person. I didn't really want to work by myself, or when I did work by myself, I didn't want to have no involvement with other people. In my poetry, I would mention different people. In my drawings, I would always have people besides me, or if I had always more than one person, or if it was only one person, then it wouldn't be anyone I knew. It would just be a person. And nothing was really by itself. Everything involved like me and a friend. Even all the photographs I looked at, it was a block. I would look at, for instance, me building blocks, and I would remember, I remember building that with so and so and so and so, and even though, no matter what I did, even if I was working on a big project, even if it was my own project, I would still want to talk to people, and I would want to stay near people, and we would give each other suggestions and work together, even if we weren't really working on the same thing.
Seriously?
Fiona, I think you were here when I did this.
What?
You know the dice that you rolled and it was kind of like a story game?
Cubes?
Story cubes, yeah. Tower of Time Travel?
I wrote that!
Yeah, this is your handwriting. I remember this.
Oh.
I have it here. The irony. Vampire magazine and zombie survey. This is just so cute. Scream right now.
Okay.
What stayed the same was my writing and how much I liked to write, and my pictures, drawing. I really like to draw everything that I wrote, just in case people didn't understand the writing. They could just look at the pictures and then see what I meant. And that has stayed the same for a really long time, except I think the picture part has kind of gone away because my writing has gotten a lot better. So it's easier to make people understand my writing, and I don't need the pictures.
I think when I write and I have ideas, I like to talk a lot. So instead of talking, sometimes it might be easier if I just write it on paper and then I say it instead of just making it up. So I think that's something that's helped me, and also helped me actually be able just to talk with it.
Well, I think my writing has changed a lot because when I was younger, I didn't know my homophones or how to write neat, and now I know how to write neater, like 10 times better. And when I was writing, it was like so messy, I didn't even understand it while I was reading it.
Rather than going on a whole new route altogether, like telling true stories and everything, I would tell new stories. I would create my own stories that were realistic, but they weren't fake. They hadn't happened, but all of it could have happened. And what I liked most about that was rather than thinking of the people who were in the stories or what was going on in the stories, I would imagine what it would be like to be in the stories and think about how cool it was. Rather than when I was little, I would look at the person in the story or in my word and think, wow, they're so cool. But now, rather than thinking about that person, I would think about what I would do in the story, what my friends would do in the story, and just trying to base my characters off of real people to create things that have never happened.
CPE velocity was like, if none of you know what it is, it was a book that my oldest brother Christian started. Like he liked newspapers somehow, something like that. He read saw comics in it, so he got little comic strips from online, like Garfield and stuff, and put it on the newspaper. And then he drew like the slogan, "News coming at you fast." And then, that's why it's called CPE velocity, because it's fast. News comes at you fast, unlike it does now. Then when he left this, when he chose I don't think he chose anyone really to work with him. And then when he left the school, Cameron, chose like Daniel to work with him and stuff, and Cameron made it kind of the same thing. But then when he drew like a little, not to be mean to Christian or anything, but Cameron drew a little better. In the CPE velocity. Then when he left the school, I started doing it, and instead of getting the little comic things, like they got off online, I made my own comics, and I got other people to draw some, and then I gave up on CPE velocity because it was a little hard. I couldn't take all of that. Lily?
I also remember I was thinking velocities that there were a lot of other newspapers, like school newspapers going along or magazines that people randomly made, and I mean like I feel like CPE velocities and Kids Toddler have been the two that have actually gotten some progress in it. The others just kind of stopped after a while or got bored or had nothing to do. And I remember walking down the hallways and people, for their little newspaper thing, they would put out little folders saying, oh, we want your comic, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but no one
I thought it was kind of stupid. Nobody ever did it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I think I was hired by a few newspapers and I was fired again, then I was hired, and I was so confused. And I remember I was just thinking, how is this thing even working? Nobody even does it. And I don't know. I mean, I just thought it was kind of funny.
Like people in other newspaper, when I was doing the CPE velocity, were asking me to do stuff for their newspaper. Like they tried to hire me, and I said no because I have my own newspaper.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Linda? Oh, you can try on it.
I feel like it's Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah.
They're always trying to like compete.
Yeah.
And then there's this like the smaller sodas. Like, you don't hear as much advertising.
Well, I remember when I was younger, when I was like friends with Kaden, we would always write about dinosaurs and talk about dinosaurs and stuff. And then when I was in Christine's class, I used to always like write books about ninjas and robberies for some reason. They would talk about how ninjas would just like be like ninjas and just do what ninjas do.
Yeah, I remember you once did a superhero book, and then the superhero was lost.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But I never had an interest in dinosaurs.
I did.
Third grade. I'm on third grade.
Me too. Look at this. This.
Math work.
That was hard for me?
You're surprised, aren't you?
That was hard for me. God. Maria had 46 stickers. She went. Oh, I remember these sticker problems. I hated them. Maria had 46 stickers.
Yeah,
She went to the sticker
pages.
station and bought 3 more strips of 10 and 2 singles. How many? Weird.
And, also, actually, my least favorite subject was sleeping.
Math times out.
Subject.
My favorite was like when everyone was like nap time thing. Sometimes the teacher like lets you go to a table and read a book.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
always
that was my
ask you to
favorite
do
one.
that.
Yeah.
And I get all upset.
Well, when I was younger, it was difficult for me to read, so I just struggled with it. So I just kind of quit. But now, I've been working hard to get better at it, and I actually found out that I enjoy reading.
This is all. Wow. I found the self-evaluation, the community reflection. When we did the book reviews, when we wrote letters to the person who reviewed, here's mine from Damar.
I think that I still like to build and create new things, and that's some of the stuff that I've been seeing in my action folder. And some things that have been different is that I sometimes might try new things, like I am doing more writing than I used to do before, so I think that's a change.
The thing that's changed is my handwriting and my thinking, because when I was in Calvin's class, my thinking used to be in one place, the other place, and then just somewhere else. Now it's more organized, and my 3 years being in the 4-5s, it actually helped me, and I'm glad that I've been held back for this extra year.
I was surprised that I was willing to draw more. Because I've never been a really good artist, and so I always just drew it. And then if I drew a dinosaur, I just draw like a head, spikes, back, feet. It would look like an elephant or something. And all I really drew that I was like good at for my age was like basketball courts, really. And yeah, that's basically it. Because in my collection folder, I had like 6 basketball courts.
Let's see. Well, I was kind of surprised because when I was little, I remembered when I used to write like the letters, and then in my mind, it would just look perfect. But now, when I'm going to look back, I can't even read what I was writing. So it was just a little weird because I used to think my handwriting was perfect, but it was really not. And well, yeah.
You don't need to change everything. If you look behind everything, you can find a meaning to it, rather than just how useful it is, rather than how useful it is, what color it is, what it looks like. It doesn't, those things can matter, but when you look behind something, you'll always find philosophy, and I realized it's everywhere. Philosophy is everywhere. There's always something. There's always another use for something besides what they're meant for. You have to look behind it. You have to examine it and explore it. I realized I would give up. I wouldn't have to ignore something. I wouldn't miss something. I would really be able to explore and to know things that I want to know. And it's just, so many people just think of philosophy and think, oh, old guys with beards or mustaches or whatever it is. But some people say ignorance is bliss, and it can be, but I disagree with that. Philosophy, I've always hated the idea of ignorance, unless there has been maybe 1 or 2 times that I've liked the idea of ignorance, wished I didn't know something. But when I realized philosophy meant not really being ignorant anymore, realize that once you know philosophy, you can't really be ignorant to something. You have to look behind it. You have to examine it and explore it. I realized I would give up. I wouldn't have to ignore something. I wouldn't miss something. I would really be able to explore and to know things that I want to know. And it just, philosophy from then on really interested me, and everything. I like looking behind it and exploring everything now.
Well, I don't think I've changed that much, but I've changed a little bit, and so it's kind of like what I was then is a little bit of what I am now, but it seemed that I was less aware of everything around me, not just like the little kid, I can only pay attention to one thing at a time, less awareness, the one that's kind of natural, but the one that's just that I just didn't. If I wanted to do something, I would basically block out everything else so that whenever the teacher would say, okay, it's time to stop and time to go out to lunch and recess or rest time, I wouldn't even hear them because I was just so involved in what I was doing. And I think that I've been able to develop that other sense of being able to be just as involved, but being able to concentrate on what other people are doing too, so I'm more aware of what's actually going on. And I think that's really good to be able to do in life, because if you're not aware of things, then that's not going to turn out well.
Well, before I would just draw random stuff, and yeah, but now I actually make it make sense. Like not before I would do random dribbles and say that, like I would do like a one line and say this is an ice cream cone. But like when I was in third grade actually, when I started actually drawing stuff, I actually liked it. No, I noticed that when I was kindergarten and first grade, I really all I did was make comics. And so.
In first grade, I wrote a lot of books about myself and like how good I was and stuff. But I mean, the work was good, like the drawings were really good in it, and my handwriting was actually okay for a first grader, but yeah, I wrote like 4 books about myself.
And so I was really inspired by all that cooking I did. And the people I work with, like with Angel and Max and Sahar and all those people. Yeah, I'm really inspired by them. That's why sometimes I cook at home with my mom.
I was like a kid that was always to myself. Like I would always write stories. Like I had like 10 books and they were all full. And there were always drawings of what I was writing about. But now I'm like more with my friends, like in the pictures of last year I was with a lot of people in the pictures instead of me alone by myself working. I always had a partner to help me and them.
I've learned that I need time, but I can't solve stuff in an instant. And I need my space. And yeah.
I actually remember doing this one. It was the first one I did with the words debate. It was the first round. My word was onomatopoeia. I still find that word fun. And I was going against Sadie, whose word was gobsmacked. I remember there was this part here that my dad helped me with. I kind of remember waking up in the morning and kind of stressing out about it a little bit.
One time I tried to build one, but I ended up only finishing a quarter of it, and then I put the rest in my closet, and then sooner I put the pieces that I put together already in the closet too, and then so I really wanted to rebuild a lot, and yeah, that's it.
And I made new friends like Lauren, Solomon, and Kevin.
Is that important to you?
Yeah.